87. Hare Krishna. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Namaha. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita. Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath. Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunath. Echai Gosai Kori Charana Vandan. Echai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana. Yahoite Bignana Savista Puran. Yahoite Bignana Savista Puran. Echai Gosayar Muretorodas. Echai Gosayar Muretorodas. Tamsa Vada Pada Renu Mora Panchagras. Tamsa Vada Pada Renu Mora Panchagras. Tamdira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas. Tamdira Charana Seve Bhakta Sanevas. Janame Janame Hoye Abhilas. Janame Janame Hoye Abhilas. Echai Gosayabe Braje Koilovas. Echai Gosayabe Braje Koilovas. Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakas. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakas. Ananda Bolo Hare Braja Vrindavan. Ananda Bolo Hare Braja Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayamana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayamana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas. Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Narotamodas. Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Narotamodas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahamantra ki jai. Let's see. So this song is a song written by Narottam Das Thakur called Nam Sankirtan. O Lord Hari, O Lord Krishna, O Yadava, I offer my obeisances to you again and again. Obeisances to Yadava, Madhava, and Keshava. O Gopal, Govinda Ram, Sri Madhusudana, Giridhari, Gopinath, Madan Mohan. All glories to Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya and his consort, Sri Sita Thakurani. All glories to Lord Hari, to the spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. All glories to Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhakta Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. I offer my obeisances to the feet of these 6 Goswamis. Bowing to them destroys all obstacles to devotional service and fulfills all spiritual desires. I am the servant of that person who is a servant of these 6 Goswamis. The dust of their lotus feet is my 5 kinds of foods. This is my desire, that birth after birth I may live with those devotees who serve the lotus feet of these 6 Goswamis. When these 6 Goswamis lived in Braja, they revealed the lost holy places and explained the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Just shout the names of Lord Hari in great ecstasy and worship the transcendental realm of Vrindavan while absorbing your mind in meditation upon the divine lotus feet of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Desiring to serve the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, Narottam Das sings this Sankirtan of the holy names of Lord Hari. Hare Krishna. Today is the holy appearance day of Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya he's an associate of Lord Chaitanya. He appeared about 500 years ago. And he is also an incarnation of God, Mahavishnu. So Krishna, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, the original form of the Lord, and from him he expands himself into different features to engage in his pastime. So Lord Advaita, he appeared just prior to Lord Chaitanya. I've read that he was around 60 years old when Lord Chaitanya appeared. So we're going to be just reading about his glories today from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. But before we do that, we'll chant some more the Hare Krishna mantra. My name's Satya Deva Das. What's your name? Huh? Gorkiji? English version is water. Mm. Are you familiar with Lord Chaitanya? Okay.
Name Path of Perfection.
Oh. You're reading the Path of Perfection, okay. Do you know the Hare Krishna mantra?
Yes.
Okay. we'll be chanting mostly that. What is your, do you speak another language? French?
French, English, and a little bit of Nepali.
Nippon? Nepali. Nepali, oh, okay. Thought you were going to say Nippon. I thought, oh, Japanese. You know, the word Japan comes, the Japanese don't call themselves Japanese, you know that? They call themselves Nippon, Nihon, Nihonjin. And the Portuguese were the first to trade with the Japanese. And they couldn't say Nippon, they said Hapon. And somehow that turned into Hapon or Japan, because the J is pronounced with an H. Okay, more chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. What's where is it?
You can play the piano.
You can play the piano? I'm trying to remember a melody. I have it here on my iPad, so if you'll just bear with me for a second.
He couldn't wait to get his hands on that.
I got it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is that key? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's a little low, huh? Too low? Can you go up a little higher? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You chanting, you're doing more slower than me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premananda, Hari Hari Bol. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So tonight I'm going to read from the Adi Leela of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 6. And in this chapter, the glories of Advaita Acharya are spoken about, written. The first verse is Vande Tvam Srimad Advaita Acharyam Abhutam Chestitam Yasya Prasadat Agyanopi Tat Swarupam Nirupatyet. This is written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who was contemporary of Lord Chaitanya and his followers. This is about 500 years ago. So written a little after his disappearance. So maybe 450 years ago or so this is written. So not so long ago. Pretty accurate. So the first verse of this chapter is, offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Advaita Acharya, whose activities are all wonderful. By his mercy, even a foolish person can describe his characteristics. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In 5 verses I have described the principle of Lord Nityananda. Then in the following 2 verses I describe the glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore, I take shelter of him. So we may be wondering, what does the name Advaita Acharya mean? We're celebrating his appearance day today. So Advaita means non-different or the same. Right? You hear the philosophy, the Advaita philosophy, the philosophy of oneness. So Advaita means different, and Dvaita means different, and Advaita means the same or non-different. Similar to Bhed Abhed, when we have the philosophy Achinta Abhed Abheda Tattva, we the souls, the expanding from the Godhead, are simultaneously one and different than the Lord. Bhed Abhed. Different, Abhed, but not different. So Lord Advaita, he's called Advaita because he's non-different than who? Hari. Yes, he's non-different than Hari, and he's the incarnation of Mahavishnu. So in this world, so he's non-different than Mahavishnu. And he's called Acharya because?
He teaches the cult of devotion.
Yeah. So Acharya is one who teaches by example. So Kanka's getting all the points tonight. So he's called Advaita Acharya. He's the incarnation of Mahavishnu. He's non-different than Lord Hari. And he's an Acharya. He demonstrated the cult of devotion and personally. And as it will be described here, that it's due to his devotion, actually, that Lord Chaitanya appeared. There is a pastime where Lord Advaita was called Dvaita by Lord Chaitanya's mother, Satya Devi. Satya Devi had 2 sons. She had Lord Chaitanya, but Lord Chaitanya had an older brother named Vishwarup. And so he was born before Lord Chaitanya, some years before. And he actually attended the school of Advaita Acharya. Lord Chaitanya had a school, and Satyamata's son, Vishwarup, used to attend there. And eventually, I think when he was about 12 years old, he left home and became a sannyasi and never returned home again. And it broke the heart of Satyamata. And for some time, she thought that her son Vishwarup was influenced by the Advaita Acharya's teachings. So one day, she was very upset with him, and she said, "You're not Advaita, you are Dvaita. You're actually causing separation. You're causing our family to break apart." And Lord Chaitanya, when he heard that Satyamata had criticized Advaita Acharya, who was a great Vaishnava, he became very unhappy about this. And so he begged Sachi to ask forgiveness at the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. He asked her, "Please give up your anger. Please don't be upset with him. He's a great Vaishnava. And please beg forgiveness." So Lord Advaita, he was actually called Advaita. He was called Dvaita by Mother Sachi. So anyway, continuing on here, verse 6 of Adi Lila chapter 6. Sri Advaita Acharya is indeed directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. His glory is beyond the conception of ordinary living beings. Mahavishnu performs all the functions for the creation of the universe. Sri Advaita Acharya is His direct incarnation. That Purusha creates and maintains with his external energy. He creates innumerable universes in his pastimes. By his will, he manifests himself in unlimited forms in which he enters each and every universe. So how's that? The Lord expands himself as Mahavishnu, right? And Mahavishnu he's lying on the ocean of milk. And then as he breathes, as he exhales from the pores of his body, we don't have any pictures here, I don't think, but many, many universes, unlimited universes, expand out of the pores of his body. They're like little eggs, right? Then he expands himself again into each one of those universes. And that expansion of Vishnu is called who? One expansion before that. Garbhodakshai. Garbha is like the womb, right? So Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So the universes expand from Mahavishnu, who's Lord, and Advaita Acharya is non-different than Mahavishnu, right? And then all those universes expand, and then he goes within each universe. He's like the soul of the universe. So he's called Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and from his navel sprouts a lotus flower, and on top of that Lord Brahma's born, and he becomes the engineer of the universe. And then the Lord Vishnu, he expands himself again into every atom of all the atoms of that universe. He expands himself again as Kshirodakshai Vishnu, as the Paramatma. So Lord Advaita, he's no jiva soul. He's Vishnu Tattva all the way. Sri Advaita Acharya is a plenary part of that Purusha, and so he is not different from him. Indeed, Advaita Acharya is not separate, but is another form of that Purusha. So when we say plenary, means an expansion that's exactly the same. Just like if you light a candle and all the candles are the same. There's one original candle, but they all have the same light. They're not different from each other. So Advaita Acharya is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, so he's considered a planary portion. He's not a part, he's the same. He, Advaita Acharya, helps in the pastimes of the Purusha, with whose material energy, by whose will, he creates innumerable universes. Being a reservoir of all auspicious attributes, Sri Advaita Acharya is all auspicious for the world. His characteristics, activities, name are always auspicious. So every time we repeat the name Sri Advaita Acharya, that vibration is all auspicious for all living beings. And because the Lord and His name are one, He's present there personally in His name. Yes. Wow. Mahavishnu creates the entire material world with millions of his parts and energies and incarnations. So we're part of Mahavishnu. Yes, because the souls in this world, when Mahavishnu breathes, all the universes expand out of his body, right? So you can just imagine, as he breathes out, all these universes are expanding out. But then, when he breathes in, all those universes come back inside his body. So, the souls in this world, when Mahavishnu breathes in, they go back into the body of Mahavishnu. And they remain in his body until he breathes out again. So we have an intimate connection with Mahavishnu. And then he's also expanded as Garbhodakshay Vishnu in this universe, and he's expanded as Kshirodakshay Vishnu as the Paramatma. So the Lord, Mahavishnu, in his form as Paramatma, is sitting next to us within our heart. And like two birds on a tree, one bird is eating the fruit, the other bird is watching. He's aware of everything we do. He's not only aware of everything we do, he's aware of everything we say, and everything we think, and everything we feel. He knows. Just as the external energy consists of two parts, the efficient cause, called nimitta, and the material cause, upadana, Maya being the efficient cause and pradhana, the material cause, so Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes two forms to create the material world with the efficient and material causes. So, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pavartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samamvitaha. He says that I am the source of both the spiritual and material worlds. All energy comes from me. So, in this material world, spiritual energy is also there. And that spiritual energy are the conscious living beings. And then there's the material energy, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. The unconscious energy and the conscious energy. And together, this world is moving. Right? Without the conscious energy, the material energy doesn't move. As soon as the soul leaves the body, all the elements of the body begin to separate and go back into their natures, right? So when the body dies, the earth goes to the earth, the water evaporates into the water, the air to the air, fire to the fire. Yeah, mind, ether. In one sense, actually, it's all one. Because the earth of this body isn't separate from the earth. It just appears that way, bundled up in a form. The water is not separate from water. And the earth isn't separate from air. And the fire is not separate from fire. It's all there contained. And the ether is not separate. The space is there. And mind is there. In one sense, we're sharing the universal mind, right? Just like we're sharing the ocean. We're sharing the planet. It's not separate. And then there's the false ego, which from the false ego, all the material energy manifests. So this verse is saying here that the Lord He's the material cause, and He's also the material energy. So He's the cause that moves the energy, and He creates the energy. So everything is coming from Him. Nothing is independent from Him. I mean, the atheists, they just say that material energy has always been, right? And there is no cause. Or they say the Big Bang. But they don't say where the Big Bang came from. Right? So they... yeah, the Big Bang before the other Big Bang. Okay, so verse 16, Navadi Leela, chapter 6. Lord Vishnu Himself is the efficient nimitta cause of the material world, and Narayan, in the form of Sri Advaita, is the material cause, or upadana. So Narayan is also another name for Vishnu. So this Narayan is being referred to as the Vishnu expansions, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, in His efficient aspect, glances over the material energy, and Sri Advaita, as the material cause, creates the material world. Right, so it's described in the Bhagavatam that when the universes expand from Mahavishnu, He glances at them. And from His glance, from His glance, all the living beings are... Yeah, the conscious energy permeates those universes, and it's that conscious energy. It's the electricity that powers the machine. So, but the Lord is actually the source of both those energies. Although the Sankhya philosophy accepts that the material ingredients are the cause, and the creation of the world never arises from dead matter. So the atheists, they say that there's just the material energy and it doesn't arise from anything, it doesn't come from anything. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with His own creative potency. Then by the power of the Lord, creation takes place. In the form of Advaita, He infuses the material ingredients with creative energy. So what is that creative energy? That's the living energy, the living force. So in that material energy is injected the living force. Just like the living force that's there, existing in the sperm of a man, impregnates the egg there in the womb of the mother. So the living force is injected into that egg, and then from that it develops. So in the same way, the living force is injected into the material energy by the will of the Lord, and creation takes place. Sri Advaita Acharya is the creator of millions and millions of universes, and by his expansions As Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he maintains each and every universe. Sri Advaita is the principal limb, anga of Narayan. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of limb, anga, as a plenary portion, amsa, of the Lord. So we hear this word anga, right? So anga means limb. Yeah. And anga is intimate, It's not something separate. It's a part. It's not just a part, a separate part. It's connected. And just like the word, the name Gauranga, right? Lord Chaitanya is called Gauranga, which means his limbs are golden. Gaura means golden color, and anga is, these are our angas, our arms and our legs. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. We're reading from Adi Lila chapter 6 that describes the glories of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sri Advaita. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not, therefore, my father, Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water born from Nara, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. This verse describes the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with material energy. Why has Sri Advaita been called a limb and not a part? The reason is that limb implies greater intimacy, right? So the arm has no meaning separate from the body, right? So it's when you hear about someone's arm, you don't think of that arm as disconnected from their body, as a separate part. So Sri Advaita, he's considered an anga because he's an incarnation of Mahavishnu. Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord. So previously we were talking about the meaning of the word Advaita, and Advaita means non-different. So he's called Advaita because he's non-different than Mahavishnu. As he had formerly created all the universes, now he descended to introduce the path of bhakti. Haribol. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna bhakti. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. Right? So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Advaita, he was famous for his Bhagavad Gita classes and Srimad Bhagavatam classes. But he did deviate from this at one point, right? So, you know why he deviated? Why? You need a microphone.
He deviated to try and get Lord Chaitanya's attention because Lord Chaitanya would always honor him and see him as his teacher, and he wanted Lord Chaitanya to get angry at him and see him as one of his servants, not his teacher.
Yes, that's right.
So in order to get Lord Chaitanya's attention, he started speaking Mayavadi philosophy so that Lord Chaitanya would get angry. Because he always treated Advaita Acharya with great respect and honor, and Advaita Acharya didn't want him to do that.
Yeah, he wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya because Lord Chaitanya's Krishna. And all the expansions of Krishna, they see themselves as, even though they're expansions of Krishna, they see themselves as servants of the ultimate Godhead. And they want to relish the mood of servitude. That's higher than being God. It's higher ecstasy to serve God. So even incarnations of God want that experience and pleasure. But so Lord Advaita, he began to speak Maya. He began to give Bhagavad Gita classes and saying that the ultimate goal of, when you surrender to Krishna, he was saying that when you surrender to Krishna, then you merge with Krishna and you become Krishna. So when Lord Chaitanya heard that, he came and he started beating Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya went into ecstasy. Finally, you're seeing me as your inferior and not your superior. Because, Advaita Acharya, he was 60 years old when Lord Chaitanya appeared, so he was like a grandfather from a material point of view, like in the position of a grandfather to Lord Chaitanya. Not only that, from an external point of view, he was also superior in other ways.
When Lord Chaitanya appeared, you said he was 60 years old?
Yeah, something like that. So, Advaita Acharya and Lord Nityananda as well, they were disciples of Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri's disciple, my mind is going blank right now. Ishwara Puri is a spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya. So even from a spiritual point of view, usually the disciples worship the godbrother of their spiritual master like their spiritual master. So in that respect as well, Lord Chaitanya wanted to worship Advaita Acharya as the godbrother of his spiritual master, as on the same level. And so this is how Lord Chaitanya was always treating Advaita Acharya. He was treating him as a superior. So at one point, Advaita Acharya, he wanted to be chastised so that he could be treated like an inferior and just be the servant of the Lord. So it said here, he delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explained Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. So at his house, he was a teacher and he used to conduct classes. And like I mentioned before, Lord Chaitanya's older brother, Vishvarup, was one of his students. Since he has no other occupation than to teach devotional service, his name is Advaita Acharya. Advaita because he's non-different than Mahavishnu, and Acharya because he's a teacher. He is the spiritual master of all devotees, and he is the most revered personality in the world. By a combination of these two names, his name is Advaita Acharya. Since he is a limb or part of the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, he also bears the name Kamalaksha. Kamalaksha. Lotus-eyed, yes. So that's another name for Advaita Acharya, is Kamalaksha, or lotus-eyed one.
How did he call?
You need a microphone because I think we're on TV.
Test. Haribol. Haribol Prabhu. How did Advaita Acharya, I know you know the story, called down Lord Chaitanya?
Good question, but you're ahead of the.
You're ahead of the okay.
Story.
Never. Thank you.
This will be mentioned in the Glories here, I think. So he's he wants to hear about specifically how Lord Advaita Acharya called Lord Chaitanya down. So, but that will be mentioned in here. Yeah. His associates have the same bodily features as the Lord. They all have 4 arms and are dressed in yellow garments like Narayan. Sri Advaita Acharya is the principal limb of the Supreme Lord. His truths, names, and attributes are all wonderful. He worshipped Krishna. Oh, here it comes, okay? He worshipped Krishna with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges and called for him in a loud voice. Thus Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on earth accompanied by his personal associates. So, in these glories here, there's just a brief description of each pastime. But later on in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is more elaborately described. But basically, Lord Advaita Acharya, he was present on the planet some years before Lord Chaitanya came, and actually he and Haridas Thakur were good friends, and they did bhajan together and kirtan together and associated with each other. And at that time,
Prabhuji, maybe I came late, but I don't know whether there was a description of Advaita Acharya, as you said, non-different from Lord Vishnu. But he's also a combination of Lord Sadashiva. I don't know whether that is mentioned somewhere or you not. Or?
Yeah, it's mentioned later on. Not in these particular. This is the first description of Lord Advaita in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in chapter 6. But indirectly it was mentioned because this glance from Mahavishnu that impregnates the living beings into the universe, this glance is also called Shambhu. So Lord Advaita is considered a combination of incarnation of Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva. But anyway, it's described here that so mostly they were in Navadvip and also in Shantipur, but at that time there weren't a lot of Vaishnavas around. There were a lot of logicians and Mayavadis, and there weren't a lot of people practicing Krishna Bhakti and Kirtan. And Lord Advaita, he was feeling that the environment was so polluted with impersonal philosophy. Just like right now, in this day and age, can you imagine if you just wanted to go off the grid and not be part of high tech? The influence is everywhere. You cannot get away from it. It's very hard to function without it. So at that time, the influence of impersonalism was so much there, and Navadvip was a great center of learning. People were coming from all over to learn logic and philosophy, just like everyone's coming here to Silicon Valley, right? To work at Apple or Google or whatever. So it's like a center there. So they're in this atmosphere. So Advaita Acharya, he was feeling that the atmosphere is so contaminated that even himself, he wasn't powerful enough to create an influence that could overcome this. So he began to pray to Krishna to appear. And how did he attract Krishna's attention? By worshipping Saligram and offering tulsi and Ganges water and crying out loudly for the Lord to appear. Great deep cries. So that's just briefly mentioned here. He worshipped Krishna with tulsi leaves and the water of the Ganges and called for him in a loud voice. Thus Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on earth accompanied by his personal associates. So that's one of the reasons Lord Chaitanya appeared, is because of the request of Advaita Acharya. It is through him, Advaita Acharya, that Lord Chaitanya spread the Sankirtan movement, and through him that he delivered the world. The glory and attributes of Advaita Acharya are unlimited. How can the insignificant living entities fathom them? Well, we can't. Sri Advaita Acharya is a principal limb of Lord Chaitanya. Another limb of the Lord is Nityananda Prabhu. The devotees headed by Srivas are his smaller limbs. They are like hands, face, eyes, and his discs and other weapons. With all of them, Lord Chaitanya performed his pastimes, and with them he spread his mission. Thinking he, Sri Advaita Acharya, is a disciple of Sri Madhavendra Puri, Lord Chaitanya obeys him, respecting him as his spiritual master. To maintain the proper etiquette for the principles of religion, Lord Chaitanya bows down at the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya with reverential prayers and devotion. Sri Advaita Acharya, however, considers Lord Chaitanya his master, and he thinks of himself as a servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He forgets himself in the joy of that conception and teaches all living entities, "You are servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." The conception of servitude to Sri Krishna generates such an ocean of joy in the soul that even the joy of oneness with the Absolute, if multiplied 10 million times, could not compare to a drop of it. He says, "Nityananda and I are servants of Lord Chaitanya. Nowhere else is there such joy as that which is tasted in this emotion of servitude." The most beloved goddess of fortune resides on the chest of Sri Krishna. Yet she too earnestly begs for the joy of service to his feet. All the associates of Lord Krishna, such as Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Sukha, Sanatana Kumar, are very pleased in the sentiment of servitude. Sri Nityananda, the wandering mendicant, is the foremost of all associates of Lord Chaitanya. He became mad in the ecstasy of service to Lord Chaitanya. Srivas, Haridas, Ramdas, Gadadhar, Murari, Mukunda, Chandrasekhar, and Vrakeshwara are all glorious and are all learned scholars, but the sentiment of servitude to Lord Chaitanya makes them mad in ecstasy. Thus they dance, sing, and laugh like madmen, and they instruct everyone, "Just be loving servants of Lord Chaitanya." Sri Advaita Acharya thinks, "Lord Chaitanya considers me his spiritual master, yet I feel myself to be only his servant." Love for Krishna has the one unique effect. It imbues superiors, equals, and inferiors with the spirit of service to Lord Krishna. For evidence, please listen to the examples described in the revealed scriptures, which are corroborated by the realization of great souls. Although no one is more respected although no one is a more respected elder for Krishna than Nanda Maharaj in Braj, who in transcendental paternal love has no knowledge that his son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, still, ecstatic love makes him, what to speak of others, feel himself to be a servant of Lord Krishna. So who's Nanda Maharaj? Huh? Who's daddy? Krishna's father. So even he wants to serve Lord Krishna. This next is a quotation probably from the Bhagavatam. My dear Uddhava, please hear me. In truth, Krishna is my son, but even if you think that he is God, I would still bear toward him my own feelings for my son. May my mind be attached to your Lord Krishna. So when Uddhava visited Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj expressed, his emotion for his son to him in this verse. May our minds be attached to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. May our tongues chant his holy names, and may our bodies lie prostrate before him. Wherever we wander in the material universe under the influence of karma, by the will of the Lord, may our auspicious activities cause our attraction to Lord Krishna to increase. So these are all expressions of pure devotion. And pure devotion is analyzed and explained by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita and also by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that pure devotion particularly has two characteristics. One is no desire for one's personal self. It's completely unmotivated. And the other is that it's not interrupted. And there's no desire to become the Lord, just the desire to serve the Lord. So Lord Chaitanya in his teachings, he has taught us that the doorway to pure chanting and to pure devotion is to be humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and to be ready to offer all respects unto others. And so we see this humility and this pridelessness manifest in all the devotees of the Lord, even Nanda Maharaj, and all the followers of Lord Chaitanya, including Sri Advaita and Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda. The greater the personality, the greater the humility, the greater the surrender. Even in the expansions of Godhead Himself, this mood of humility. And even Krishna Himself, in front of Radharani, he becomes this way. Right? So this mood of servitude and wanting to selflessly serve is the highest pleasure. And even Lord Chaitanya himself, who's Krishna himself, has appeared as Lord Chaitanya to experience this. And so all of his devotees as well, especially Advaita Acharya, they're also manifesting this kind of mood of complete selfless surrender and service to the Lord, without any expectation, without any want, without any kind of speculation. Lord Krishna's friends in Vrindavan, headed by Sridham, have pure fraternal affection for Lord Krishna and have no idea of his opulences. Although they fight with him and climb upon his shoulders, they worship his lotus feet in a spirit of servitude. So again here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's giving examples of pure devotees and their feelings from the Bhagavatam to support his statement that Sri Advaita Acharya is a pure devotee of the Lord. Not only just the incarnation of Godhead, but his mood is that of a pure devotee. And so he's given examples of pure devotees from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Even the beloved girlfriends of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, the gopis, the dust of whose feet was desired by Sri Uddhava, and who are more dear to Krishna than anyone else, regard themselves as Krishna's maidservants. O Lord, remover of the afflictions of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, O hero of all women, O Lord, who destroy the pride of your devotees by your sweet, gentle smile, O friend, we are your maidservants. Please fulfill our desires and show us your attractive lotus face. O Uddhava, it is indeed regrettable that Krishna resides in Mathura. Does he remember his father's household affairs and his friends, the cowherd boys? O great soul, does he ever talk about us, his maidservants? When will he lay on our heads his aguru-scented hands? What to speak of the other gopis, even Sri Radhika, who in every respect is the most elevated of them all, and who has bound Sri Krishna forever by her loving attributes, serves his feet as his maidservant. O my Lord, O my husband, O most dearly beloved, O mighty armed Lord, where are you? Where are you? O my friend, reveal yourself to your maidservant, who is very much aggrieved by your absence. In Dwarkadam, all the queens, headed by Rukmini, also considered themselves maidservants of Lord Krishna. When Jarasandha and other kings, bows and arrows upraised, stood ready to deliver me in charity to Shishupal, he forcibly took me from their midst, as a lion takes its share of goats and sheep. The dust of his lotus feet is therefore the crown of unconquerable soldiers. May the lotus feet, which are the shelter of the goddess of fortune, be the object of my worship. Now, who do you think spoke that verse? Yes, Rukmini. Knowing me to be performing austerities with the desire to touch his feet, he came with his friend Arjuna and accepted my hand. Yet I am but a maidservant engaged in sweeping the floor of the house of Sri Krishna. Through austerity and through renunciation of all attachments, we have become maidservants in the home of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is satisfied in himself. What to speak of others? Even Lord Baladev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is full of emotions like pure friendship and paternal love. So even Lord Baladev, the first expansion of Krishna, he is also wanting to serve and take care of his younger brother. It's a special Ras. I'm noticing it. I'm watching it right now with... I have a 3-year-old grandson named Benchan, and then I have a 4-month-year-old grandson, Nicholas, and so Benny is his older brother. And he's very, very careful. He wants to hold him, kiss him, take care of him, protect him, help his mother do things for him. You know, he's engaged in that mood of serving and protecting. So Lord Baladev, he's always thinking himself of as Krishna's protector. It's kind of a in between friendship and parental love. Something in between there, very special. But he's not thinking himself as the supreme enjoyer, he's thinking himself as the servant of the Lord. So that's real freedom, is to be free of your own personal interest. Huh? He who is Sesha, Shankarshan, with his thousands of mouths, serves Sri Krishna by assuming 10 forms. Rudra, who is an expansion of Sadashiva, and who appears in unlimited universes, is also a Gunavatar, qualitative incarnation, and is the ornament of all the demigods in the endless universes. He also desires only to be a servant of Lord Krishna. Sri Sadashiva always says, I am a servant of Lord Krishna. Intoxicated by ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, he becomes overwhelmed and incessantly dances without clothing and sings about Lord Krishna's qualities and pastimes. All the emotions, whether those of father, mother, teacher, or friend, are full of sentiments of servitude. That is the nature of love of Krishna. Lord Krishna, the one Master and the Lord of the universe, is worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of his servants. That same Lord Krishna has descended as Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone, therefore, is his servant. Some accept him, whereas others do not, yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by his sinful activities. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, and a servant of his servants. Saying this, Advaita Prabhu dances and loudly sings. Then at the next moment, he quietly sits down. The source of the sentiment of servitude is indeed Lord Balaram. The plenary expansions who follow him are all influenced by that ecstasy. So, Advaita Acharya, he is a plenary expansion of Balaram. Right? So originally there's Balaram, then there's the Chaturvyuha, and then Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Sharadakshaya Vishnu, and Advaita Acharya, he's incarnation of Mahavishnu, so he's a plenary expansion of Balaram. And Balaram has this service attitude towards Lord Krishna, so everyone who expands from him also has this. Lord Shankarshan, who is one of the incarnations, always considers himself a devotee. Another of his incarnations, Lakshman, who is very beautiful and opulent, always serves Lord Ram. The Vishnu who lies on the causal ocean is an incarnation of Lord Shankarshan, and accordingly the emotion of being a devotee is always present in his heart. Advaita Acharya is a separate expansion of him. He always engages in devotional service with his thoughts, words, and actions. By his words he declares, I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya. Thus, with his mind, he always thinks, I'm his devotee. So just spontaneously, when he's thinking that I'm a devotee of the Lord. Now, spontaneously, what are you and I thinking? how can I be number one? How can I be the source of everyone's attention? I'm going to make sure everyone knows that I did this service. Somehow the false ego, even from the get-go of our spiritual life, gets involved and takes over. It's very slippery, sneaky fellow. With his body, he worshipped the Lord by offering Ganges water and tulsi leaves, and by preaching devotional service, he delivered the entire universe. Sesha Shankarshan, who holds all the planets on his heads, expands himself in different bodies to render service to Lord Krishna. These are all incarnations of Lord Krishna, yet we always find that they act as devotees. The scriptures call them incarnations as devotees, Bhakta Avatar. The position of being such an incarnation is above all others. Lord Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and all others are his parts or parcel incarnations. We find that the whole and the part behave as superior and inferior. The source of all incarnations has the emotions of a superior when he considers himself the master, and he has the emotions of an inferior when he considers himself a devotee. Right? So we saw that Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes, for the most part, he was always in the mood of a devotee, wasn't he? And if anyone called him the Supreme Lord, he would cover his ears and run away. Just briefly, there is the pastime where he actually sat on the altar at Advaita Acharya's house, and he manifested himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And for that one day and night only, he allowed the devotees to worship him as the Supreme Lord. So he was in the mood of a superior. But otherwise, he was always in the mood of a servant of the Lord. And particularly for the last, he took sannyas when he was 24, then he went to Jagannath Puri. He traveled for 6 years on and off, and then for the last 18 years of his life, because he stayed until he was 48 years old, he stayed in Jagannath Puri. And pretty much he confined himself to the Gambhira and just heard pastimes of the Lord from Swarup Damodar, and was always in the mood of a gopi searching for Krishna in separation. The Gambhira was the name of the room that he lived in. It was a room provided by who? Kashi Mishwara's house. And if you go to Jagannath Puri, you can go to that room. It's still there. And has anyone been there? Yeah. Really thick walls and very secluded place. Very small, yeah. So Lord Chaitanya, for the most part, for his 48 years, was in this mood of inferior and relishing it, And all pure devotees and all incarnations are relishing this, a mood of being a dependent part. We got the sun and the sun ray, qualitatively one and the same. There's no different in quality between the sun and the sun ray. Yet the sun ray can't exist without the sun. And in that recognition, bhakti begins. And there's gratitude and a complete sense of fulfillment that I have everything as long as I have my sun, right, my source. And then to want to serve that source And without that recognition of this simultaneous oneness and difference, their bhakti cannot arise. So that's why Lord Chaitanya advised us not to hear Mayavad, because that will destroy that sense of bhakti. So even the most powerful incarnations, even Mahavishnu is wanting this position, to relish this position of servitude. The position of being a devotee is higher than that of equality with Lord Krishna. For the devotees are dearer to Lord Krishna than his own self. Lord Krishna considers his devotees greater than himself. In this connection, the scriptures provide an abundance of evidence. Can you just imagine? I cannot imagine when I think of Krishnadas Kaviraj. He's in Vrindavan, he's 92 years old, he's blind, and he's writing on palm leaves and quoting all of these elaborate quotations from all these different scriptures. Amalgamating the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya with the truths of the Goswamis, especially Jiva Goswami's Satsandarbhas, based on the Bhagavatam. He's quoting all these Bhagavatam verses from the Upanishads to prove how Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, basically, and how Krishna is. And Jiva Goswami, all of his writings were proving how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Somehow he imbibed all of this knowledge, and now he's putting it into just coming out. He didn't have Google or... Go ahead.
Sorry, Prabhu, I just got reminded of one verse that Malini read before the meetings of Sankirtan, that if one remembers Lord Chaitanya, then everything becomes possible. And if one forgets him, even possible things become impossible. So that verse is true in Vrindavan Das Thakur's case.
Yeah, and this is Krishnadas Kaviraj. Okay. Yeah. Which he said, in the beginning, right. Yeah, so, for one who remembers Lord Chaitanya, anything's possible. And in fact, things were being narrated to him through Sri Madan Mohan, deity. O Uddhava, neither Brahma, nor Shankara, nor Shankarshan, nor Lakshmi, nor even my own self is as dear to me as you. So this is a quotation from the Bhagavatam, Krishna speaking to Uddhava in the 11th canto. As he's quoting proof now from the Bhagavatam. The sweetness of Lord Krishna is not to be tasted by those who consider themselves equal to Krishna. It is to be tasted only through the sentiment of servitude. This conclusion of the revealed scriptures is also the realization of experienced devotees. Fools and rascals, however, cannot understand the opulences of devotional emotions. Yeah, they criticize Lord Chaitanya as just some sentimentalist. Another quotation here. Baladev, Lakshman, Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda, Lord Sesha, and Lord Shankarshan taste the nectarine mellows of the transcendental bliss of Lord Krishna by recognizing themselves as being his devotees and servants. They are all mad with the happiness, and they know nothing else. What to speak of others, even Lord Krishna himself becomes thirsty to taste his own sweetness. That was verse 108. He tries to taste his own sweetness, but he cannot do so without accepting the emotions of a devotee. Oh, do you actually have it here? Oh, neat. Oh, it's over there too. Where am I? Verse 109? Therefore, Lord Krishna accepted the position of a devotee and descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya, who is complete in every respect. He tastes his own sweetness through the various emotions of a devotee. I have formally explained this conclusion. All the incarnations are entitled to the emotions of devotees. There is no higher bliss than this. So I guess someone may think, well, how is it possible for Mahavishnu to be in the mood of a devotee? He can't do that. You can't limit God. Otherwise it's not God. The original Bhakta avatar is Shankarshan. Sri Advaita is counted among such incarnations. The glories of Sri Advaita Acharya are boundless, and for his sincere vibrations brought about Lord Chaitanya's descent upon this earth. He liberated the universe by preaching Sankirtan. Thus, the people of the world received the treasure of love of Godhead through the mercy of Sri Advaita. Who can describe the unlimited glories of Advaita Acharya? I write here as much as I have known from great authorities. I offer my obeisances 10 million times to the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya. Please do not take offense at this. Your glories are as fathomless as millions of oceans and seas. Speaking of its measure is a great offense indeed. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya, all glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the superior Lord Nityananda. Thus, in 2 verses I have described the truth concerning Advaita Acharya. Now, O devotees, please hear about the 5 truths, Panchatattva. So I guess we'll stop there. So I was reading a pastime from the Chaitanya Bhagavat concerning Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur, and just this pastime just said to me how Lord Advaita Acharya, he was in the mood of Lord Chaitanya long before Lord Chaitanya appeared. And so he and Haridas Thakur, basically, they didn't have much association, no bhakta association. And so they were relishing and recognizing each other's bhakti and appreciating each other's devotional service. And so in this way they were supporting each other in Krishna consciousness, like we need sadhu sangha and association. And Advaita Acharya's father had passed away, so he was performing the Shraddha ceremony. And apparently, I've never seen this ceremony, so I don't know the details of it. But after the ceremony, as common, there's a big feast, and there's there's different seats, and the most honored person, the most honorable person, is seated on the highest place, and they're given the first plate of prasadam. And so, of course, especially in those days, the Brahmins were the leaders of society. So Lord Chaitanya was such a revolutionary, that he didn't see Krishna Bhakti in terms of varnashram. But whoever had Krishna Bhakti, that's who Lord Chaitanya would glorify. And who didn't have Krishna Bhakti, that was revolutionary at that time. And of course it caused a big uproar. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Advaita Acharya, he also had this mood and perspective. So during the Shraddha ceremony, it's described that all the Brahmins, they were thinking, I wonder who's going to be up there getting that number 1 seat. Is it going to be me? Is it going to be him? So all the Brahmins were looking at each other like that, thinking, well, maybe I'll get the seat of honor. Now Haridas Thakur, he was a Muslim, right? So he didn't even come inside Lord Advaita Acharya's house. He was just waiting outside, and he just came there as a matter of respect. But because he considered himself lower than the straw in the street, and he considered himself an outcast, even though he was a great devotee of the Lord, he was sitting outside. So at the end of the Shraddha ceremony, Advaita Acharya, he went outside the house and he pulled Haridas Thakur inside his house and he gave him the seat of honor. And all of the Brahmins, they stormed out in protest, Microphone.
There's another pastime where when Lord Chaitanya was young, he used to go to Advaita Acharya's house to tell his older brother to come back home for dinner. And every time they would see Lord Chaitanya, Advaita Acharya would be so charmed by his beauty. And he kept thinking, who is this? Who is this? And he had this attraction to Lord Chaitanya. And then there came a point, and it was after Vishwarup had left, but there came a point when Lord Chaitanya had gone into ecstasy and fell down, and Advaita Acharya immediately started worshipping him, and it was kind of shocking to all the devotees, like, what are you doing? This is Vishwarup's little brother. Like, what are you doing? And he said, oh no, you don't know who this is.
Is that from Chaitanya Bhagavat?
It's from the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Yeah.
Nice. Has anyone been to Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur? Yeah. All right. What do you remember? Anyone remember anything? I went there actually for the Panihati Chip Rice Festival with Prabhupada, and I don't remember anything. Sorry. Anyway, who's been to his house? Maybe they can describe it to us.
I think we sing this bhajan every time, Eka dina shanti pure prabhu advaite raghare. That's a beautiful pastime when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. After taking sannyas, Lord Chaitanya was, for 3 days, along with Nityananda Prabhu and other devotees, he was fasting. He didn't eat anything because he just wanted to go to Vrindavan. And Nityananda Prabhu somehow or other by trick brought him to Shantipur.
All right.
So then Nityananda Prabhu brought him to the bank of Ganga near Shantipur, and he told Lord Chaitanya, this is Yamuna and you are in Vrindavan. So Lord Chaitanya actually jumped in Ganges thinking it to be Yamuna and offering prayers to Yamuna. And that time in the boat, Nityananda Prabhu already sent one devotee to the house of Advaita Acharya, telling him to bring a pair of clothes for Lord Chaitanya because Lord Chaitanya didn't have any other pair of clothes. So Advaita Acharya came in the boat, and Lord Chaitanya was in the river taking bath, thinking it to be Yamuna. So seeing Advaita Acharya, the doubt arose first time in Lord Chaitanya because he was completely in ecstasy that he is in Vrindavan. But that time his doubt arose and he said, Advaita, what you are doing in Vrindavan? And Advaita Acharya he disclosed the whole situation. He said, well, my dear Lord, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan, but this is Ganga, And then Lord Chaitanya said, oh, because Nityananda was one who told me that this is Yamuna. So he said, Nityananda cheated me. And Advaita Acharya said, well, whatever, Nityananda Prabhu said is actually right. It's nothing wrong. Because, one side is Yamuna. He said in Prayag, Ganga and Yamuna, they meet. And from that time onwards, western side is considered Yamuna and eastern side is considered Ganga. So you have actually taken bath in Ganga, in Yamuna, sorry. And then he said, please come to my home because you have been fasting for 3 days, so come and eat in my home. And there's a beautiful pastime of Advaita Acharya, feeding Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. It describes beautifully in Chaitanya Charitamrita that he had cooked such an elaborate variety of food, and such elaborate variety of prasadam, and he offered to his deities, Krishna. And he invited Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and he told actually Lord Chaitanya, I have just cooked a palmful of rice and simple vegetables, nothing more. So, because he says, Lord Chaitanya is sannyasi, he may say that I won't come. But he said, no, I've just cooked only a palmful of rice and simple vegetables, please come. And he had such elaborate feast for Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And during that prasadam time, he actually made Lord Chaitanya sit with the whole offering plate which he had offered to Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya said, I can't eat so much. And he said, please give up your pretensions, because in Jagannath Puri you eat 56 times. This is just a not even 5 morsels of food for you. So they started having prasad, and it described that Advaita Acharya was serving with so much love to Lord Chaitanya. Every time Lord Chaitanya would finish even half of some preparation, he would just fill the whole bowl again. And in this way, Advaita Acharya was fully satisfied feeding Lord Chaitanya. At that time, Nityananda Prabhu was the one who started having arguments. For the pleasure of Lord Chaitanya, he started having arguments with Advaita Acharya. He said, I've been fasting for 3 days, but I was thinking that today I will break my fast. But it looks like I have to continue fasting. Lord Chaitanya was thinking that there's too much of food, and Nityananda was thinking this was not enough to fill the belly. And Advaita Acharya says, my dear Nityananda, I know that you are an avadhut, and sometime you roam in the forest, sometime you get fruits and roots, and sometime you get nice food. So whatever you have got, just please eat and don't demand more. And Nityananda Prabhu said, I may be who I am, but you have invited me to your home. It's your duty to fulfill, whatever I want to eat. And Advaita Acharya said, I know you can eat 80 kilos of rice in one time, and I'm a poor Brahmana. Where can I get so much food from? So, please don't demand. And please don't throw the foodstuffs here and there. You should know that I'm a Brahmana. You shouldn't throw your remnants at a Brahmana. And Nityananda Prabhu said, well, this is the food offered to Krishna. This is prasadam. And you have taken it to be ordinary. So you have committed a great offense. And your offense will be nullified only if you invite 100 sannyasis in your home for prasad. And Advaita Acharya said, well, I'm not inviting any more sannyasi because a sannyasi like you has spoiled all my smriti regulations. And Lord Chaitanya would relish that whole conversation of Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. And that's when Nityananda Prabhu actually takes and throws some rice and throws at Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya starts dancing in ecstasy. So it's a whole beautiful pastime which took place right in that home in Shantipur, where Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda came after Lord Chaitanya's sannyas.
And also that was
Thank you.
It was also Sri Advaita Acharya that invited Mother Sachi at that time to come, and it was the first time she had seen Lord Chaitanya with his shaved head. It was a very touching situation.
Last chance for them to be together.
Yeah, and that's when she requested him, please don't go live in Vrindavan, it's too far and I will never hear about you. Please go to Jagannath Puri, it's the same Krishna. He's also in Jagannath Puri.
So who from ISV is now in Mayapur, besides Nirkula and Vaisheshika Prabhu? Shraddha?
Ramananda Saka Prabhu, Shamalangi Mataji, Kameshwari, Shraddha Mataji, Mukharavinda Prabhu, Mayapur Bihari Prabhu. I think that's all we have from here.
Mm-hmm. And 2 devotees from Japan are there.
Yeah, some devotees from Saudi Arabia. And Sam Prabhu, who got initiated. Yes.
Nice.
Last year it was very nice to be there, Prabhuji, because it was full of mango trees, and we had to walk through the trees, and then.
Did you stay at Nirvana Narada's
Yes.
ashram? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful walk every morning to Mangalartik.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
And then from there we drove to Shantipur, and then the bus stopped on the road, and we all had to walk through the mango trees. And the people were so simple, because there was a big kirtan going on when we were there. But then Vaisheshika Prabhu started sitting on that front courtyard, and he started giving lectures. Immediately, people brought tulsi from their home, and they kept in next to, like in the center of the devotees. And then I'm sure that they don't understand the language, but they sat through the entire lecture with rapt attention.
Wow.
I really pray that I get that much attention to hear Krishna's pastimes, and it was so nice. And in the backside, the place where they sat with Gauranga and Nityananda, it was such a beautiful atmosphere. That simplicity of the people also impacted me so much. Yeah, I remember that.
Was that location, was there a Gaudiya Math temple there or anything?
No, not nearby. There was Haridas Thakur. One place was there, and there was holy name constantly playing in that place.
Was it the Ganga right there?
It used to be, but now it's not on the backside.
When I went there, the Ganga was right there.
Now it's not.
Yeah. But it moves around. Yeah. Oh, nice. Anyone else before we end for Arctic?
How many people Haribol, how many people were at this Gambhira with Lord Chaitanya? You said it was a small room.
Well,
he was there along many years.
He had his personal servant, Swarup Damodar. He was mostly there with him and Ramananda Roy. So Lord Chaitanya would be, say one moment he would enter into a mood of separation like Radharani was feeling for Krishna. Then Swarup Damodar, he was famous for singing, being able to sing the Bhagavatam. And in fact, the style of our singing was learned by Narottam Das Thakur. And the style we sing, some of the melodies we sing were actually the melodies of Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy. So they would know Lord Chaitanya's mood, and then they would sing verses from the Bhagavatam that would reflect and emphasize.
Make him go crazy?
Yeah, make him go crazier.
Or bring him back. I don't think that Prabhu's met Vaisheshika Prabhu, who is like a Superman. That you were saying that people just flock to him. Have you met Vaisheshika Prabhu, the leader, the president? No. He's a big 7'2" Superman. He's flying around.
Yeah. So you can go there. That's one that we're so fortunate that these great incarnations and devotees that we're talking about there. This is only 500 years ago, so all of these places are still there, and history is pretty much intact. So we're pretty fortunate to be able to be so close to Lord Chaitanya's incarnation. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, always Advaita Acharya thinks that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thinks Advaita Acharya is superior to him, and Advaita Acharya gave lecturing on Mayavad philosophy. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and beat him. And his wife, Sita Devi, Advaita Acharya Prabhu's wife, said, don't beat him, he's a very old man. But Advaita Acharya was in ecstasy when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started beating him. So that's very touching pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we should end, right? Because they're going to have the Arctic. We should make the deities wait for us. So all glories to Sri Advaita Acharya. Thank you. Seemed like it used to be on the other side. Oh, both sides. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's this way. That's right. Do so well. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesa Sunyavari Pastacha Deshatarane Jaya Jaya Gaurachande Aroti Kesoba Jayam Jaya Gaurachande Aroti Kesoba Janave Tatavani Jagamanaloba Dakshine Nitai Chan Vamigarara Nikate Advaita Shini Vasachadradara Bosi Ache Gorachan Ratna Simasane Arte Korinna Brahma Hari Deva Gane Narari Hari Kore Chamula Dulaya Samjaya Makunda Basu Gosari Gaya Shankar Bhaji Ganta Bhaje Bhaji Galatala Madhura Mirdanga Bhaji Paramarasala Baho Koti Chandragine Vadana Ujvala Galadese Bandamala Kori Jalamala Shiva Sukana Radha Prime Gada Gada Bhakti Vinoda Deke Gorala Sampada Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go out there and get me a cup of water. They have a sink out there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thanks. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Premananda Haribo. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Prabhupada Acharya Astatara Satashishi Mad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Prabhupada Acharya Astatara Satashishi Mad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gorkishore Das Babaji Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Sat Goswami Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Primshiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shai Mukunda Radha Kunda Gir Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakti Vrindi Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premananda. All glories to the Samri devotees. All glories to the Samri devotees. All glories to the Samri devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranyakashipurvaksha Shilatankanakalaye Gito Narsimha Bharado Narsimho Gito Narsimha Bharado Narsimha Yato Yato Yami Tado Narsimha Yato Yato Yami Tado Narsimha Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narsimha Madim Jaranam Bapade Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Advaita Shringam Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurengam Eshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Ki
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's a weekday, but it's good to see a good turnout. We'd like to thank His Grace Satya Deva Prabhu for leading tonight's discussion on the glories of Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna. Sundarananda Prabhu and Vishakha Leela Mataji are sponsoring tonight's Prasadam feast, so we'd like to thank them. Mataji just sent a text in case you didn't know. And I'm not aware about the cooks. Bhaktavatsal Prabhu and Parthasadi Prabhu cooked tonight. And Hansapriya Mataji. Hare Krishna. Quick announcements from Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu and then Damodar Vamshidhari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Today is Advaita Acharya appearance day and we have Chaitanya Charitamrita's books. A set is $99 only. And these are golden books you can see here, and Shankaranand Prabhu today mentioning about Madhya Leela pastimes, wonderfully narrated. Please take opportunity, today is an auspicious day. And we have 100 sets to go. If anybody interested, come and see me or Malini Mataji. And I see all old faces, any new faces. Please come and take these Chaitanya Charitamrita books. Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, 12th is Nityanand Prabhu Trayodasi, and in March we have Gaur Purnima. So in this month, or every month is holy month to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please come and take if you are interested. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, as Prabhu said, most of you are old, not in the sense in age. Old is gold, correct? So, what we want here is a golden opportunity for each of you. You see this room which is there where something is written like private. This is going to be the sannyasi quarter for ISV. And it's almost in the last stage of it. And His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu has instructed Jagarini Mataji that he would like to move into this place. Because he said when the soul gets inside, the energies will flow in, and then we'll be having, some kind of movements, and this room will get ready. Right now that room doesn't get ready, used in ISV to a large extent. So that is one of the goal. And in next 15 days, we want to make this room ready so that in case some visiting sannyasi, or if Vaisheshika Prabhu accidentally comes in, that rooms becomes available for him. Or, some of our senior, at ISV or traveling around the world. So, Mataji, I wish she was here. We were discussing today, and it requires a few things. So, it requires a cot, a bed kind of a thing, with the mattress and everything. It will be good quality of stuff. That comes close to around $900. And then there will be desk, nightstand, and other things. So total amount which will go for fixing this room will be around $2,000. So anybody who would like for donating part of it or whole of it can see me. This room will be dedicated for traveling sannyasis or ISKCON senior leaders who will be using this room. So in case you feel that you should donate on this auspicious occasion, please see me later. Hare Krishna.
So we have officially begun our fundraising campaign for 2014 on this auspicious day of appearance of Sri Advaita Acharya. So one another announcement is this weekend is the weekend of MSF, the monthly Sankirtan festival, which means devotees will get together and go out on book distribution and distribute books, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also invite various guests from different parts of the Bay Area to come attend the festival next Wednesday, which is Nityananda Trayodashi, the appearance day of Lord Nityananda. So in anticipation of this big festival, please do join us on the weekend for Sankirtan. Anything else? That's it. Okay, so we'll sing Prasadam prayers led by Priya Kishori Devidasi.
Sharira Vidyaja Jodendriya Taheka Jive Pele Vishaya Sagore Tarmadde Jivayati Lobho Moy Sudhurmati Take Chitta Katina Samsare Krishna Bada Doyamoy Kori Bare Jivajay Swaprasadanna Dilo Bhai Se Annamrita Pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Nita Kadina Shanti Pure Prabhu Advaita Gare Hui Prabhu Bojane Bosilo Shakori Aswadhana Prabhu Bole Bhakta Gana Esha Krishna Swadilo Heno Shaka Shradane Krishna Prema Aishe Mane Sei Preme Koro Ashvada Tada Buddhi Parihari Prasada Bojana Kori Hari Hari Bolo Sarvaja Hari Hari Bolo Sarvaja Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasonai Vajayate Prasade Sarva Dukhanam Hanirasyo Pajayate Prasanna Chetaso Yasu Bhuti Paryavatishtate Pagachi Mahaprasadam Ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari. Please come take Prasadam.
Junior Prabhu has procured one set of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Haribol. Also, we request everyone to have a seat while honoring Prasadam this side of the hall, so that we don't have to clean up everything. Hare Krishna.